We are just going to dive right in and we're going to get to know Illustrator. Um, I want you guys to launch your Illustrator. I've launched mine already. Just click it once and you should have something like this. This is our launch page, and we are going to create a new file. This down here, if you have looked at your orientation information, this is the doc down below. This is going to have all the apps and programs that you might want to use. Alright, so once inside Illustrator, we're going to start off with a new file. Just hit that. We're going to get this new document launch page, and my letter size document has already been selected. You can tell by the blue halo. We are going to make this, I think by default it's at pixels, maybe points. We are going to choose, using this drop down, we're going to choose inches. We're going to make sure this is 8.5 by 11. You're also going to make sure that your orientation is at portrait. Okay? All this other stuff you don't have to worry about quite yet, but once you've done that, hit the create button. Okay? You will have something like this. This is an 8.5 by 11 letter size document. Okay, this white area is called your artboard. Okay, this gray area out here is just a nice place to put all your information and stuff, and I will walk you through that later. But right now we're going to worry about this document artboard. All right, so right here is our toolbox, and within our project, I gave you a basic rundown of all the tools that we're going to be discovering early on this semester, okay? This is the selection tool. This is going to allow you to move stuff around. I'm going to skip all this stuff. This is the rectangle tool. This right here is the type tool. The zoom tool, we're going to be using that, and we're definitely going to be using the fill and stroke area of your toolbox. All right. So one really great thing about Adobe products is if you roll over the tools, just roll over them, don't click them yet. Adobe gives you a nice little animated preview of what the tool actually does. It's super helpful. It's awesome. So selection tool, direct selection tool. This is our rectangle tool. We're going to be using this today. The type tool. And then if you come on down here, this is the zoom tool. This, zoom in and out on the canvas and artboards. Yep. And then right down here is the fill and stroke color area. Okay. Alrighty, so I want you guys to do 2 rectangles. So make sure your tool is set to rectangle tool, and you're just going to draw 2 squares or 2 rectangles, okay? Just like that. You can make them big, small, but you have to leave room for 2 other circles over here. So as you can see, I clicked on the outside of my artboard to deselect. You can also come up here and say deselect if you want to. It's just easier to click your mouse outside on this gray area or even away from the object that you have selected. Alright, so I want you guys to mess around with the color, fill color, which is the inside of this box. You see it's white right now? Can't really see that on my white artboard. But the fill color is white. That's this color right here. Oop, go away, I'm not ready for you. Okay, your fill color is white and your stroke color is black. Yup, that's true. Alright, so I want you guys to come up here to Window. This is going to let you pop out some really cool panels that you might use during your design process. Alright, so I want you guys to hit swatches, and your swatch panel will pop out just like that. It's awesome. We have the properties panel open already. That's like defaulted. That's what it. That's your default. And eventually, we're going to be doing this more later, but not right now. Okay, so I'm going to select my rectangle or square, and I'm going to see over here in my swatches box. Yep, the fill color is white, and the stroke color is black. So I'm going to fill the inside of this rectangle with black. With red. Hello. I'm clicking away. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to fill this one with green. All right. And I am deselecting by clicking on the outside of that shape. You can click out here if you want, but I'm still in the selection tool. All right. The next part of your assignment is to change the stroke colors of your rectangles or squares. All right. I'm going to choose this red box. I'm going to flip over here. I'm going to click on the stroke color. That's going to activate the stroke information. Now I'm going to choose a stroke color. I'm going to make that, I don't know what, purple? Okay. There it is. Purple it is. You can't really tell because it's a little bit small, but we're going to go with that for the moment, and I'll show you about the zoom tool. All right, this green guy, I'm going to make light green instead of black. Yeah, there it is. Or maybe I want to make it dark blue or a medium blue. Make it this color. All right, so now I'm going to zoom in and make sure my stroke colors are something other than black. I'm going to use my zoom tool and I'm going to zoom in. Okay. Yep, that stroke color is different. I'm going to make this pink. There you go. Now you can see what I'm doing. All right. I'm going to go back to my zoom tool. And I see how my little zoom tool has a plus in the middle? That means you're zooming in. Okay. On my keyboard, I'm going to hold down the Option key. See how my plus turns from positive to negative? Keep that Option key hold it down, and now you can zoom out. What? Okay. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay. Also, hit the space bar and you're going to have this little hand. This is going to let you move everything around, and you'll be able to see what's on your artboard a little bit better. I'm just going to zoom in just a little bit. I'm going to use my space bar. I'm going to hold it down and move the artboard over a little bit. And I release the space bar. All right, so I'm still in the zoom tool. I'm going to go on to my next part of the assignment, which is to make circles. Okay, come up here to the rectangle tool and long click it, or hold your mouse down and you're going to get these other options over here. So the rectangle tool is really more like a shape tool. Okay, I want you to select the ellipse tool. That's going to help you make like ovals, circles. That's really what an ellipse is. Okay, so I'm going to do two ellipses. I'm going to make two circles over here, one circle and one oval. And I'm going to mess around with the interior fill color. All right, so I'm going to select this circle, come to my swatches, click to activate the fill. Yep, I'm going to click that. Now I'm going to fill it with something weird. Okay, so I'm going to click it with foliage. Ooh, you can mess around with this stuff. So play around with it. I can also fill it with a gradient. I can fill it with this gradient. I want you guys to play around with this stuff. If you have previous Illustrator experience, feel free to fill it with anything weird that you find. So I'm clicking outside of that circle. Now I'm going to do this one. I'm going to fill that one with a gradient. I'm going to go with that one. No, I'm not. I'm going to use this foliage. Like that, okay? You don't have to worry about the stroke colors on these circles. I just want you to experiment and see what the fill colors and fill information would be like in these two. All right? Then I want you to jump back over here, select the type tool. Click it on your page anywhere and type your name. All right? Come back up here to the selection tool and you're done. Okay? So now you have this beautiful, beautiful piece of work, woohoo, and you're ready to save it. Let me see, did we talk about everything? Blah, 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 na, 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 na. Yeah. Okay, File, Save, right here. Click it, and it's going to ask you, okay, what do you want to name this? So I'm going to name mine Nikki New Illustrator File. New Illustrator Experiment. Okay, you can name it anything you want as long as your name is in it, okay? And then this is also going to ask you, okay, cool, where do you want to save it? I usually save it to my desktop, but if you guys have a flash drive, you can save it there. You can save it to the cloud. The cloud is a little sketchy for me just because I work a lot in places that don't have Wi-Fi, and then I can't retrieve those files. So I always like to have a backup of that information somewhere. You can switch it. You can change. You can save it anywhere you want to save it. I'm just going to save it to my desktop. Make sure this is Illustrator. We're going to go through all these different formats that you can save your artwork as. But for right now, just save it as an Illustrator document and hit save. This is going to pop up. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to worry about any of this and just say okay. All right, so when you're finished, jump back on over and upload it to our assignment folder. I gave you some more information on popping out your windows. Really, we're only going to be experimenting with swatches this time, but keep watching this over and over until you get it right, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.